All right, another video. A lot of people do fasted training expecting a greater fat loss. However, a study done back in 2014 found uh, fasted exercise or fasted training does not have a significant advantage for fat loss. What they found, when you train fasted, you will oxidize more fat during the session, but you will burn more carbohydrates later. But when you train at a fed state, you will burn more carbohydrates during the session, but you will burn more fats afterwards. When you look at overall fat loss over a 24-hour period, the both methods um, produce similar benefits or similar results. So that's why we need to look at what happened at a certain point of the day. That snapshot don't really matter. What we need to look at what happens overall, right? This is a meta-analysis of 23 studies. So basically this study or this meta-analysis combined all the studies up to date that compared fed state training and fasted training. There are three key findings I want to discuss in this video. People who train fasted and ate a post-workout meal felt hungrier for the rest of the day, or their subject to hunger was higher compared to people who ate a pre-workout meal and didn't eat a post-workout meal. That's interesting. Also, people who train fasted, this is at an ad libitum setting. So ad libitum setting basically means it's a free living situation. There is no energy control. Basically, you eat as you desire. This is important to mention because this is where most of the population fall into. Most of the population don't really track calories. Right. So at an ad libitum setting, people who train fasted consumed more calories throughout the day compared to people who trained after a meal. Also, people who trained fasted had significantly less energy expenditure throughout the day. Maybe that's due to their perception of fasted training. They probably said, okay, I trained fasted, I done my part for the day, so I don't really need to move around much afterwards. So that might be the case, right? So the practical application, let's start with the disclaimer. So authors found high risk of bias in measurement methods in most of the studies. So how valid is this data is questionable. Just keep it in mind. If you don't have to necessarily do, okay, I'll break it down. I'll talk about cardio and weight training separately because they're different. You don't have to necessarily do fasted cardio, at least at this stage. With the data we have, it does not seem to provide any additional benefits. However, I don't want to completely dismiss fasted cardio either. Fasted cardio might have a small benefit or small advantage for really lean individuals, but again, there is no data to back that up either at this stage. So right, so if you prefer to do your cardio, you find it easier to do in the morning before eat a meal, completely fine, go for it. If you want to do it after a meal, that's fine too. Right, when it comes to weight training, there is absolutely no reason for you to train fasted. With the data we have, fasted training seems to be inferior to fed state training when it comes to weight training, especially when you compare the effort levels. I guess that makes sense because when you're hungry, obviously you cannot train hard, right? Right, so overeating more likely to happen when you don't track anything. So if you're trying to stay within a certain calorie amount for the day, that overeating with fasted training or fasted cardio might not happen. But at a free living situation or ad libitum setting, that likely to happen. Right, I'll see you guys in another video.